Right, to give honor to the Orishas, our ancestors, to Chief Omawale Walker, thank you for having me, to Chief Ayodele, Priestess Oyashina, elders, those my age and those younger. My daughter, she loves to read. She likes books.
That's good.
You know, and I see that she's starting to take after me, and it really isn't that hard, you know, because I don't actually force it on her. She's just, Daddy, you know, read me this book. Read me this book. You know, she's 4 years old. So I decided to take the time, you know, most nights during the week, I actually read passages from either the Odu Ifa, or I'll read her passages from ancient Kemet literature. You know, just sit in bed and just read it to her. You know, so I like to share with you what I share with my daughter. Okay. Now, some mornings we'll go to the hymn of Ra. So, hail to you, Ra, perfect each day, who rises at dawn without failing. Kepper, who wearies himself with toil. Your rays are on the face, yet unknown. Found gold does not match your splendor. Self-made, you fashioned your body. Creator uncreated, soul one, unique one, who traverses eternity. Remote one with millions under his care. Your splendor is like heaven's splendor. Your color brighter than its hues. When you cross the sky, all faces see you. When you set, you are hidden from their sight. Daily you give yourself at dawn. Safe is your sailing under your majesty. In a brief day, you race a course. Hundreds, thousands, millions of miles. A moment is each day with you. It has passed when you go down. You also complete the hours of the night. You order it without pause in your labor. Through you, all eyes see. They lack aim when your majesty sets, when you stir to rise at dawn. Your brightness opens the eyes of the herds. When you set in the western mountain, they sleep in state of death. Hail to you, autumn of daytime. So you see the consistency of the sun without fail, and we should always strive as children of the sun to be like the sun, consistent, okay? And also, true power is not loud. True power is silent, right? See, the sun moves, do you hear it? No. But you see the effects of it. The moon is powerful, it pulls on the tides, right? And you have to have a lot of power to pull that kind of water, right? It is silent. The stars illuminate the sky, which is the goddess Nut in her body, but yet it is silent. But it helps us to read our destiny. Okay. So with that being said, I would like to read some passages from what's called demotic literature. All right. Now this is ancient Kemetic literature. This is after the 6th century BCE, right? And in some places, you may say Bible study or Quranic study, but since this comes from a papyrus, let's call it papyrus study. How's that? Okay? So, now you know how the book of Psalms is? It has words of wisdom, but it's like one after the other. Well, this particular papyrus is in a similar fashion, right? And this is the instructions of Ankh Shishunk, okay? Not as well known as Ptahhotep, but yet just as important. So I'm going to read some passages, I'm going to skip around a little bit and offer a little interpretation, okay? All right, now in the 6th sheet, you have serve your God that he may guard you. Serve your brothers that you may have good repute. Serve a wise man that he may serve you. Serve him who serves you. Serve any man that he may find profit. Serve your father and mother that you may go and prosper. Doesn't that sound something like honor my mother and my father?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, but see, this is prior to the New Testament. We already have the wisdom. So, serve a wise man that he may serve you. So, I seen the wise man. And I said to myself, I would like to serve him and his family and his endeavors. And in that way, it is reciprocity. If you have a gift, you offer it. And you get rewarded for it.
Absolutely.
In return.
Yes.
Wise man.
Absolutely.
You know, before I go, continue, I do want to kind of step to the side a little bit and say that I do honor you and I do look up to you. You are an excellent example to the community.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Wow, that's awesome.
The father figure too inside that. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. All right, so we're going to go to sheet 8, verse 7. Do well by your body in your days of well-being. Say it again. Do well by your body in your days of well-being. In other words, don't feed your body junk.
That's right.
Feed your body well. Fruits, vegetables, raw foods, organic foods. Okay? Not chitlins and things like that. That weighs your body down. Okay? Or unhealthy foods. Whatever you consider that to be.
Hold on. Once in a while?
Ancient Kemetic literature.
Take that back and reference something else.
Don't compromise.
I'll eat you.
Kemetic literature also says eat, drink, and be merry. So, drink juice. The next one here. Let's go to 12:9. I like that we're having fun here.
You don't have to get no more chilling.
Okay, 12:9. A wise master who asks advice, his house stands forever.
Good.
So, if you are wise, you keep a counsel around you, wise counsel. Because remember, Ptahhotep says, be not arrogant because of your knowledge. Take counsel with the ignorant as well as with the wise. For wisdom is rarer than emeralds and can be found among the maidens with the rhinestones. No one is born wise. No one has reached the limits of knowledge.
That's right.
Okay? So, let's slide that one in there. All right, let's try 12:12. The work of a fool does not succeed in the house where a wise man is. Okay? So, for example, the works of fools will not work here, would it? No. We have a wise man here. We have wise women. Everyone in here is wise. So, you may have people out there who, want to do underhanded things, but when you have someone who is wise and they see through that, okay, they bring Maat in order immediately. And sometimes they're preemptive and see it ahead of time and jump ahead of it and say, no, stop that. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's go to 13:2. A wise man seeks a friend. A fool seeks an enemy. See? So, let's say if you're a governing body and you say, I want to pick on somebody. Do they got nuclear weapons over there? No, they don't. They got capability. Let me go over there and cause some rift over there. Or I see some black liberation groups over here, but all they want to do is just uplift themselves. Let me set this leader against this leader and cause some rift over there. See? But a wise man seeks friends, not enemies. Remember, what goes around comes around, right? All right, let's jump to 14:14. How am I doing on time? He who steals from the property of another will not profit from it. Okay? So you can say, okay, let me steal this couple $1,000s from this person over here. You will not profit from it because, remember, the energy will follow you. Okay? And you will lose it. And you probably end up in greater debt. Let's go to 15:8. 15:8. All right. There is no good deed except the good deed which you have done for him who has need of it. So in other words, if I go to a guy who's well off and I give him, here's $100, or we're going to the club, let me pay your way in. That's different than if I see a man who does not have, and I give that same amount to him.
Absolutely.
It does a greater good.
Wow, absolutely.
And I may not see that man again
Absolutely.
on the street. However, it is a greater good than just giving to this guy who does not need it. So be selective of when you give freely, give of your heart, but be selective of what you give and how much you give. Be wise in what you give. All right? Let's keep going. When a man smells of myrrh, his wife is a cat before him. So, in many traditions, like today, you see our Muslim brothers, sisters, they put on oils, right? It's very attractive. It's sweet. When they walk past, it puts you in a good mood. However, we already had these things. So, when you put the sweet oils of myrrh, which comes from East Africa, by the way, it helps to bring good mood. Positive thoughts. Myrrh, frankincense, those things. Adorn yourself with oil, okay? Because it is the smell of the gods, right? In fact, the Kemetic word for incense is signature, okay? And we all know the word nectar, right? A word for God, but it can mean divine, all right? It can mean divine or purity. So the word for incense, signature, right? To smell, all right? To smell divine, literally. And and when you burn incense, the smoke goes where? It goes up, all right? Let's keep going here, do a couple more. Let's go to 22:8, all right? Do not insult a woman whose husband is your subordinate. Found that interesting because, see, if you're someone's boss, right? Let's say I'm over this man here, and I see his wife or something like that, and I insult her, then it's going to create a problem because now he's going to have animosity towards me. Okay? So we have to be very careful when we're in public and official and job settings of how we treat people or treat people associated with them. Okay? Better a statue of stone than a foolish son. Better no brother than one who is evil. Better death than want. Do not stay in a town in which you have no one. That's interesting. We'll do about 2 or 3 more. Now let's go to the instruction of peb hoarder. Okay. Wealth through saving is the equivalent of labor. He who thrusts his chest at the spear will be struck by it. So in other words, don't start nothing you can't finish. Okay? Let's do another. If a woman is beautiful, you should show gratitude. All right? That's about. There's no. Okay, here's another one. If the stick is far from the master, the servant does not listen to him. Pick that one out specifically because I remember, I think maybe about 2 months ago, spoke about children, and that basically, children do wrong, they need to get a beating. Okay, because if you don't, okay, they will grow up and be out of hand and undisciplined. So, if the stick is far from the master, in this case, a parent, the servant, or a child does not listen to him. Because there's no reprimand, there's no punishment. You're saying, I can just do anything.
Absolutely.
Okay? So you cannot let your children run wild and rampant. He who invites him who is far, his name will be great when he is far. In other words, I think about Abraham, who's seen a stranger come and he rejected him, right? And then the angel came down and said, no, go get him and bring him back and invite him to break bread with you. Okay? So make sure that you give courtesy and be hospitable even to strangers. The heart of the God is pleased by the giving of food more than the heart of the recipient. Okay? So, in other words, it is better to give than to receive. Okay? He who loves to give food to another will find it before him in every house. So if you are generous, then then generosity will follow you as well.
Absolutely, yes.
Is that right? Okay, we're just about to our end. Eat and drink when no brother is hungry, when no father or mother beseech you. So in other words, if you have abundance and you're eating, right, but your brother or your sister is in want, it is wrong for you to partake of abundance if your brother is in want and you are able to give it to him or invite him to it.
Absolutely.
So that's why, if you have a gift, you must share it with those who are in need. Do not keep it for yourself. Enjoy yourself with whom you wish, as long as no fool joins you. So be careful of the company in which you keep. See? So you can go out, you can have fun, but watch who you're with, especially if you decide to partake of drink. Be careful. Okay? Organic drink. Do not steal out of hunger, for you will be investigated. The fool who is in the right. The fool who is in the right is more annoying than he who is wronged by him. Now that one interesting. Okay? You may have someone who's maybe boastful, likes to go out and attack people because that person has information. We're saying last year you didn't really know much, now all of a sudden you got something, now you want to go attack other people and make them feel bad about themselves. See? So that type of personality is more annoying than the person being wrong. Like, okay, hey man, calm down, okay? That's good information, but you're not beating me up about it. Okay? And lastly, always seek knowledge, pour libation to the ancestors, always worship, honor the God of your ancestors, and know that the God of our ancestors has infinite names. Okay? So it doesn't matter what name. We don't fight amongst each other over religion. We don't do that. All right? So keep that in mind. Teach that to the children. And with that being said, I would like to introduce a very good brother, colleague of mine, and I look up to this brother. His name is Sonjedi Ankh, published author, Africologist, computer programmer, and one who recently presented at the Sheikh Anta Diop International Conference, the 25th anniversary this weekend. And I'd like to introduce my brother, Sonjedi Ankh.